All right. Hello, everyone. You should be able to hear me okay. Again, no camera today, just a minor technical issue, so we're just going to go voice only. That's fine because, hey, you don't want to look at me. You want to look at the thing that is on the screen. Hello. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/Dungeons & Dragons/live, and Facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. No, it is not the horse talking. It is your community manager, Cordovan. Sans camera today. Well, webcam. Because I have a minor technical issue, but also because I'm kind of working on a thing that you can see right now. Let me actually... Oh, anti-aliasing disabled. I had to update my NVIDIA drivers. So, yeah. So that's why this is looking slightly aliased. It looks like, yeah, like I say, I've got some NVIDIA thing going on. But hey, check this out, huh? This is something that is going to be coming to Dungeons & Dragons Online with the release of Keep on the Borderlands. You will see these in the near future on Lamania, and you will be able to use them in any of our wilderness areas, not just in Keep on the Borderlands, but as you see here in, like, say, King's Forest, Nectarin Desert, and any of the other places you might want to be on a horse. At this point, yes, we're talking horses. And my understanding is there is some variance in speed depending on the mount, so you will... get a chance to kind of go through all the numbers and the hows and the whys and how it works and all that sort of thing in the near future. But I know that this is a bit of info that we have had kept under wraps for a little while here. And it's nice to be able to finally debut that, as it were, live here today. You were maybe going to see this by this point until I turned our live stream into a den of lies last week by stating we might be on Lamania today, and there was one other thing I had lied about. Oh, this special thing that I thought maybe I'd be able to do last week that I wasn't able to do. So, this week, no Lamania, yes mounts. So that is what's up here. I'm going to open up the inventory panel, kind of let you see the current item you would receive. Qual's token mount, dappled brown horse, min level 1. Binds 2 character on acquire. Summons a riding horse, granting an 80% movement bonus. Only functions in public spaces and adventure areas. Hold the block key to dismount, and by default that is the left shift. So, hold the block key. Mount removed. Like I say, this is obviously, you are not seeing Lamania right now. You are seeing one of our internal development clients. So that's what that messaging is about. And in terms of resummoning it, you'll just click on it again. There's a few minor kind of animation sync issues and that we're still working on. Just a little bit of clipping kind of here, on the riding animation. So it isn't, 100% ready to go yet, but it's in a pretty good place here. So we wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity. As you just saw there, similar to Locho, if you take too much damage from wandering mobs, it will dismount you. I knew that we would get a lot of information or questions I wouldn't be able to answer. Will they be stabled like pets? Nothing to announce at this time on that. I think at this point, just due to the fact it's an item, I think it's just an item at this point. Will it handle a tiefling tail? Yes. Currently in our internal development client, it's most polished on a human animation because that's what we were using as kind of a default here, as it were. So some of that work is literally being checked in this week regarding other races and animations. But yeah, it'll work just fine on those with tails and the other races. Yes, Shoemaker, this is one step closer to rocket bears. And there we go. Are you able to ride the mounts in quests? No. Mounts will be usable in public areas and in wilderness areas. So, for example, let's see if it's working here. Yep, it's currently working here. I guess you saw a little clip in there right now, but that's getting worked on. It'll work in public areas and in wilderness areas. And basically, as long as it's flagged one of those things, it should work. That's the plan, anyway. I have not heard of plans to piggyback like some kind of follow command, which is similar to other MMOs, nor a 2 riders on 1 mount thing. I suppose that might be possible in the future, but we're certainly not debuting that. Can you trample other players by riding over them? No, I believe you just go through them like your regular PC. Can we get coconut shells for the hirelings to follow behind? If I have my way, yes. Do they jump? Yes, they do. Again, I'm not 100% sure if that animation is in progress or what, but yes, they do jump. All right, let's see. Run like the wind. Hello, just got here. Has anything been told about price, requirements, and possibility for spellcasters to summon their mounts? No on price. Requirements will simply be that you have one. They are min level 1 to use, so that's that. You'll just shift to dismount. Spellcasters will not be able to summon mounts at this point. And then, like I say, prices to be announced. It's coming here, though, with the next game update. Keep on the Borderlands, which you are not seeing on Lamania this week. Sorry. But hopefully we're on track for next week. And then probably the week after that for Lamania 2. And then just kind of where we'll see from there. I'm just real quick changing my game client over. I'm still using a new computer, and work just kept me so busy this week. I really didn't get the chance to kind of work on presentation and that. Besides, the other big point, clearly not as significant as mounts, but certainly significant to me, a lot of the community, and the Boston Children's Hospital, is that this Saturday, noon to midnight Eastern, Saturday, on twitch.tv/DDO stream, we will be doing our Extra Life Marathon, noon to midnight Eastern, Saturday, October 26th. Twitch.tv/DDO stream. We're raising money for Extra Life. That goes to help sick kids. You can get some DDO incentives. You can find out about that over on the DDO forums. These are tax-deductible donations, and it's something we've done every year, and we're doing it again this year. Well, we've done every year for Locherwin DDO for a while, and now we're doing it. In recent years, we've been doing it for DDO too. So, extralife.org down. Checked one a few hours ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're probably just having some minor well, not minor, but technical issues. How do we acquire a mount? Stay tuned. I can tell you, it's not just going to be given to every character for free. I also do not yet have a final tally on how many mounts will be available at launch. Some of that sort of information is too early to talk about yet. Like I say, we got plans, we got marketing plans, and that's what's up. So we'll have more of that information when people are ready. But we were ready to show it off at least today, because it was going to be on the Mania at one point theoretically yesterday. So the work is in. Work's good. So so there you go. I wanted to, when we had an opportunity, I was like, ooh, hey, let's give people a nice little surprise today, rather than making them see it in the Lamania release notes, which would have been a kind of a cool way to debut it as well. Wait, what? But I thought this was an even better wait what moment. Yep, Richie, we are introducing mounts. Weekend bonus. Oh, golly. Let me see, can I even give that to you right now? Maybe? Yes, I can. Okay. So how long have people been asking for mounts in DDO? A couple weeks, I'm pretty sure, at least. Alright, this weekend's bonus. Looks like it is a plus 25% Caneth Crafting XP boost, and that kicks off on Thursday and runs through Sunday, October 27th. A 25% Caneth Crafting XP boost. Additionally, Night Revels is continuing through November 3rd. Hope you've been having a good time on the old Night Revels. What am I running? What am I running today? Let me see. Let me take a look. I am currently running level 5 quests. I think I am not going to do Prove Your Worth. So why don't we just get a couple of easy ones done here. Let's do like Lara Summoning, Chamber of Insanity, some of the House K walk-ups. We'll just start with that and have a hopefully relatively casual start to today's show, where I don't die on the Hardcore League. I have not died yet. I'm level 9. Yay for me. Can you fight from the horse? No. I don't believe so. This is a travel mount, not a combat mount. Mounts soon? Question mark. Yes. Mounts with Keep on the Borderlands, usable in public areas and wilderness areas throughout the game. Up to and including, of course, the Keep on the Borderlands new wilderness area. I have to pick up the quests here. The day is young, I know, right? Gosh. So what are my plans for this weekend are frankly a little kind of up in the air. What am I going to run for the Extra Life Marathon? Kind of depends at sort of what's going on and whether or not I'm alive on the Hardcore League. If I'm alive on the Hardcore League, I'm probably going to be playing a lot of Hardcore. If I'm not alive in the Hardcore League, then I may do something else, because I don't think I can do the level 1 up again. I just don't think I got it in me. So we'll see. Flumph playable race? Question mark. Nope, not before we get Modrons, which isn't also isn't happening. Yeah. The bonus is a plus 30% Caneth Crafting XP boost that kicks off on Thursday and runs through Sunday. Oops, that's not what I want. So I've got the battered Fierlin shield at the moment. Yeah, clearly I'm not just going to debut this on the start of my live stream and thus annoy everyone who's like,
sorry,
I
level
don't
2,
want to have
so
to
I'll
watch
have
this
to drop.
live stream. Which is fine, you don't have to watch the live stream. I'm going to clip the mount bit and put that up separately on YouTube and Twitch today. And we'll see, maybe get a little press. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Donna, our current plan is still to release Keep before the end of the year. Exact timing TBA, but yeah, I mean, that's the intent. So. I don't know about you guys, but I have found that my cleric with really good improved turning is just destroying Night Rebels. So if you're having... I don't think too many people are struggling in Night Rebels, but if you are, may I suggest a cleric? I've been destroying stuff. I've been just... Me and this other person who's also playing someone with turn, we're just kind of walking through the Night Rebels quest and just boom, 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 just nuking everything with our turn undeads. Good stuff. Are we still fighting stuff? Okay. So, you know, at one point we were kind of hoping to get keep on Mania this week, which is why I'd said what I said last week, but just a combination of minor technical issues combined with a couple of build issues combined to just sort of make this week unlikely for Lamania. So instead we're just going to do a little more polish on it. We kind of internally gave us the time we need to do that, and then there we are. So that's what's up. Do we have a trapper? Ooh, fantastic. Is the Beholders undead also? Not sure what you're meaning on that. Is the Beholders undead also? We do have undead Beholders. I don't know, Shu, on the summon. That sounds like a plausible, not necessarily exploit, but just kind of technical glitch about being able to summon a non-gold seal hireling elsewhere, provided it's close to the entrance to the dungeon. Oh, the Jack-o'-lantern behold... Well, the Beholders in Night Revels are Doomspheres, so yeah, they are undead. Otherwise, I believe that the Beholders that just sort of have pumpkins on them because it's Night Revels and it's funny and fun, are not undead. They're just regular boulders with a thing on their head because it's fun. And funny's good. Nice. Yeah, I've got an old PNP copy of Keep myself. I bet a lot of people who are of a certain age and still have their basic set stuff. You know, Keep on the Borderlands initially came in with like a basic set thing, so that's what's up with that. I bet a lot of people have Keep. It was one of the most popular in number, in part because it was one of the most common modules that people owned because it came included in the basic edition that you would get. Isle of Dread came with the Expert set, which was also why Isle of Dread is a particularly well-recognized OG D&D module. Anyone need fire resist? Night Rebels question, is there a skull mask bandana cosmetic, and what is it called? Not both a skull mask and a bandana display, but yes, we absolutely have skull masks, and they're called, I can't remember what they're called, sorry, but I know I got them. I think it also gives you a minor burst of negative damage as well. For a period of time. Kind of like elemental weapons. This way. Death Smiles, yes, thank you. And Silence of the Hams, yes, thank you. How could I have forgotten Silence of the Hams? Secular Squirrel, what you're describing... You're right. We're not talking about an undead player race. I would never say never on any of that kind of thing, although I've not really heard of any plans to do that. But, you know, it could, theoretically. I was going to do Forgotten Caverns and then Chamber, but sure. Whatever. Oh, speaking of bacon, a player cast Raised Dead on the Undead Bacon forums this past week. They're an old set of forums I created just because I'm me, and 1 year a long time ago. And I've kind of had this minor thing in my head that whenever someone, because the forums get turned off, but sometimes people can still access them if they got them bookmarked or whatever. And I've kind of had this thing in my head where every now and then when someone kind of posts in there, I bring it back from the dead for the season. And that's what I'm doing this time around, is bringing it back through October here. So if you want to have some bacon-related fun on the DDO forums, it's now available for you. So there you go.
The stonework in this room is cracked and frosted over from the chilling influence of the ice methods. You are struck by the familiar aromas of pungent mushrooms and even more pungent trolls.
Can't take your horse into a dungeon? Correct. Mines are no place for a pony, but there's also just some... I think in general, yeah, that was the reason for it, is that for the handful of quests that would make sense maybe to allow a mount on them, there's a lot of quests that would not make sense to have a mount on them. I think my keyboard's dying. It seems to be shutting off. Guess I need a new battery. Again. Yes, the Manectaran Desert and all wilderness areas. All formally tagged wilderness areas. You know, the place where you get slayers. If you're getting slayers, you can ride your mountain. And if it's a public area, you should be able to. Although I think taverns are... Maybe I shouldn't even say that. I'll have to check. I don't know if you can put one in a tavern. Come on, your horse needs a dirty kobold. You know it's true. Yeah, there's just too many quests where it either would cause all sorts of exploits / stuck spots / issues, and there's enough places where it just frankly wouldn't make sense to be able to allow a mount, that it just wilderness and public areas. Good question on Crystal Cove. I don't know if they even thought about that one. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, the same kind of problems would exist with the fly spell, which is why we don't have that. Post-hardcore, will dead characters be transferred from dead? I have some dead-ends that have stuff in the bank I want to pick up, but nothing too important, just a thought. We had a conversation about that this week.
Created such a startling bouquet of smells.
And when we debuted the hardcore server, we explicitly told people, no, if you're dead, you're going to be transferred dead. And if you're alive, then you're going to be able to, you know, get all the stuff you want and all that sort of thing. So we had actually said that at the start. See how I'm stopping here? This is my keyboard. I think my keyboard's running out of batteries. Do I have another one I could just kind of hook up real quick? Let's see. Oh, okay, I do. Cool. Alright, there we go. I know, I've always been a wired keyboard mouse type person myself. I just don't like to deal with batteries. But it is nice for this particular computer since sometimes we're like, you know, sitting there on in a chair or whatever and need to type, showing stuff off and all. I also don't use battery-powered mice at home. Good question on nameable mounts. I don't think they are nameable currently. Could someone share that Ruined Halls with me? Thank you. Clearly, our goofy brains are thinking along similar lines to some of your goofy brains, in that this potentially opens the door for all sorts of amazingly awesome mounts of various shapes and sizes. Oh, bear. And, except that that's not planned yet. That's just my personal wish list. So yes, Cocoa Bar, we are getting mounts for public areas. This is happening with the release of Keep on the Borderlands. They'll be usable in all wilderness areas and public areas. And a dragonborn riding a dragon. Yeah. I would be personally very amused were I to be riding a giant squirrel mount, so I support this idea, but I suspect a lot of people would not. No word on the release date yet for Keep on the Borderlands, other than nearish future. Our current goal is to get next week our first Lamania of Keep Up, and then the week following probably an updated version of Lamania, and then after that, depending on the state of things, you know, has always largely determined where we go from there. So use your trained experience to kind of guesstimate when Keep might come out. I don't believe you cannot currently name your mounts that I'm aware of, but that's a great idea. Maybe that's something we could do in the future. Are the mounts going to be part of the big expansion release and not for basic expansion, meaning you have to buy the bigger package? No, Shepard. That is not how we're releasing mounts. Now, that's not to say that if we were to do expansion in the future, that there wouldn't quite possibly be mounts involved in one of those packages. But the way it's debuting is no. The way it debuts is it's coming out with Keep on the Borderlands, which is a standard adventure pack, free to VIPs and season pass holders, available to purchase for anyone who wants to. And then mounts will be debuting with that. Now, in terms of how you actually get your mount, we have not yet said. I'm really kind of being a tease here today and not getting into detail, so I apologize for that. But, you know, probably give an estimated guess, but I'd really rather not lead to any speculation that proves not to be the way we do things. So, just in case, I'm going to kind of hedge my bets and leave that up to e-commerce to invest. I also will have to check on whether halfling mounts are smaller. I haven't seen the animation work on halfling mounts, on a halfling on a mount yet, so I don't actually know the answer to that question. mean, let's be real here. We're probably going to have to buy them out. I don't think we're giving them away for free. After all this work we had to do to get them into place. I am guessing the answer to riding a horse while in animal form is a no. Are we going to get Alchemist this year? Great question. We'll know when you know. But at this point, Alchemist is not going to be included with the release of Keep on the Borderlands, just because it's still being actively developed, and we're not going to hold up the rest of Keep just to fit some arbitrary timeline on it. So Alchemist will be coming out a little bit after Keep. But what a little bit after means, does that mean we get it before or after the holiday break? Stay tuned, I think. I think it's kind of an open question. Regardless if it isn't, it's almost certainly going to be not too long after that, I think. I mean, here's actually one bit I could mention is there are going to be a few minor kind of known issues with various things perhaps referencing Alchemist when Keep goes live, even though Alchemist isn't out yet. And that's because of, you know, the process that's taken place. Like, I believe we are either going to have to hide it or just not hide it because it doesn't really matter. There will be like some kind of, I believe, Alchemist past life feat that's currently displaying, a couple other things. But for the most part, we got all that cleaned up. And so there should just be a few, I would think, spell description references and things like that. Oh my god. I'm never gonna survive. I'm never gonna survive. That's all there is to it. I appreciate Quickish about those who purchased guild airships on the Hardcore League world, but no, we are not getting people their choice to purchase a guild ship back on the Hardcore League. It's hopefully been exceptionally explicit that this will be going away, and that, yes, that includes your guild airship. So choices were made based on that information. The mount can quote-unquote die only to the extent that you saw what happened when I got struck by a mob while riding through a wilderness area. Ultimately, if you take too much damage, it will dismount you and the horse will go away. Not really the same as dying, per se, in that you're not, like, rezzing it at a shrine or anything like that. What do we got? Yeah. Alright, yeah, Chamber of Insanity here, then. So, no, it doesn't have, like, a formal health bar in that at least I don't see one yet. I think it's really just more of a matter of if you take too much damage, it'll knock you off. And the mount will be gone. Correct. Nothing, as we've been saying from the front here, Conk on Facebook, nothing from Hardcore League This Hardcore League will be preserved at the end of the Hardcore League, other than you're going to get an opportunity to transfer your characters, both alive and dead, from the Hardcore League server to a non-Hardcore League server for free, for a period of time after the closure of the Hardcore League. If you want to read more information about that, actually, yesterday I was able to get out our Hardcore League FAQ. And what this is it gives you hopefully enough information to let you know what's going to be happening towards the end of the event, how are we going to handle transfers, what kind of stuff transfers with you, etc., etc. What do you need to do, like, you can't be a guild leader, that kind of thing. So, that got published on the DDO forums yesterday, if you want to take a look at that, but it's all pretty basic stuff. Yeah, it's pretty classic MMO style in terms of the functionality of the mount, and sort of in terms of damage and that sort of thing. So.
The cultist of Vol rushes at you, gesturing madly with his hand. And raving
Yes,
in an
Zyfield. I spoke to one of our engineers yesterday that some dead people were remaining on the hardcore leaderboards again, after work was done recently to address an issue with hardcore dead on the leaderboards. We're going to be doing some work to correct that. And the engineer was just, frankly, too busy yesterday to do it, but is aware of what needs to be done and plans to do that work. So yes, Conk, any tomes or things that you put on your character will persist when you transfer that character. Like if you bought a tome and ate the tome will be there. Also, one thing to note is that even if we don't change our mind and res everyone or whatever at the end of the event, stick to our guns on our original plan, we're still going to be able to get all that stuff from the shared bank to the world of your choice, because you're going to be able to just kind of create up a bank tune, as we call it, and then just load up that person with whatever kind of shared bank stuff you want, and then copy or transfer that character over to the world of your choice. So overall, regardless of whether people come back from the dead, that's kind of why we're thinking about maybe changing our minds. It's like, well, all right. I mean, how important is this really if all they need to do is just, X, Y, and Z? Maybe we should just do it anyway, even though we said we weren't going to. You know what I mean? So we'll see what we end up with, but that conversation is something that we've been thinking about. We'll see. But worst case scenario from a sort of technical standpoint, as it were, it should be just fine. Yeah, I would certainly think that paladins, especially cavaliers as a subclass, have long been linked to mounts. So that could be cool. Who knows? Can they really not just add a ship hook point and a permanent banker to the Land of Lost Souls? Yes, we could theoretically do that. In terms of the ship hook point, that shouldn't be necessary, as I understand it, right? Why would you need a ship hook point? Because you can do guild management from the Land of Lost Souls. So even if you're dead and you're the guild leader, like I am, I can just log into that character and get all my guild stuff done anyway.
The last of the race fades into nothingness, and suddenly the air...
As far as a permanent banker, well, it's another option.
In the distance, you hear stone grating against stone.
So yeah, I mean, one option would be to do that, but we don't want. I think there's a desire to try to be as consistent as we can regarding the Land of Lost Souls and all that. So I don't really want to put a banker in there. I mean, I'm sure some people would dig it, but I don't know. What about items in a character bank on a dead toon? Is that content lost in the transfer? Refresh my brain on that one. Because I was just looking at the list of what happens and what doesn't happen. Alright. The following things will not transfer with your character. Yeah, your character bank comes with you. It's just a regular world transfer. So the answer to a lot of kind of questions we've had over the in the past month or so regarding this is, well, what about X? What about Y? What about Z? It's like, it's just a regular world transfer. It's just a regular world transfer. Just a regular world transfer. So anything that happens normally is what's going to happen this time. So yes, after double checking, character bank does come with you. I'll check that out for a little bit, see if it helps my deeps error so slightly. My shield again. Alright, let's see. What do we got here that we can... Anything we can run in about 10 minutes or so here that you can think of? Kind of quick walk up or something like that? No one Prove Your Worth, no one Delaras, no one Ghost of a Chance. Archer Point Defense? You can try that. How about Archer Point Defense? That's a fun one. I am joking. Yeah, Delaras is great, but I know I'm going to be running Delaras with some peeps on the Hardcore League here in the coming days, so I don't want to do that one without them. Yeah, I would think a skeletal horse would be pretty sweet as well. Oops, not that one. Where is APT now? Oh, here we go. All right. Sugar cubes? That's cool. An Otieg and Rust Monster mount. You know, Rust Monster mounts on the enemy side have existed for a while now, so that would be kind of awesome if we could. Who knows? Maybe we could do that. Yeah, spawn screen, man. Stamus Garobo gives a massive good tip. Spawn screen is great starting at level 8 quests. Good buff. Got Taint of Shadow. Minus strength damage 1 shot last night on my Wisdom Monk for 12 points of strength damage. Also this one, if you're our cleric, don't forget about your Seek Eternal Rest. Plus 4 sacred bonus to turning undead. So you're gonna want that. Because turn undead rules right now. There are only 5 people with 400,000 Reaper, and only around 25 with 150,000. Do the devs think that only having about 20 people get the hardest achievement is good? Yes. Seems a waste of resources to make a pet for 20 people. It is not a pet for 20 people. It is a pet for everyone long-term who chooses to do this. So while I can appreciate that currently the number of people with these creatures is low, long-term, let's say 5 years from now, there will be far more.
By the enemy.
And this was not intended to be a short-term acquisition project. This isn't going to be something you do for a couple weeks and then be like, well, I'm done with that. The intention, similar to old school like Kenneth Crafting in that, is that Reaper XP would be a long-term system, as it were. So, you know, I mean, when we set those numbers, though, we had, based on sort of internal data, an idea of how it would go. But real-world experience is always going to trump that kind of thing. And so we ended up maybe being a little slower in the acquisition of Reaper XP than maybe initially intended. So, you know, never say never, potentially, on making that a little bit easier to get. But that certainly isn't the intention. Where are we at? This one? Yeah, that was quick. What do you... Hey, I was going to ask people, how many of you on the Hardcore League have run-proof your worth as part of your, you know, favor grind or whatever it is? Because I am pretty sure I'm going to skip Prove Your Worth. Not because of most of the quest, but just because of that one spot where you have to jump through the spike pit. My success rate on consistently making it through that without dying, not real good. So I tend to skip. I think I'm going to skip Prove Your Worth for that exact reason. But I wonder if am I just like, oh no, you got to do is X, Y, you know, got to worry about it. If that is something that I could do, I would certainly be interested in knowing that. So. Oh, Spike Pit's epics only? Well, that changes everything. All right. Well, cool. Sweet. Then I will do that. Been too long since I ran it on Heroic, I guess. Yeah, the traps I'm not so worried about, because I can solo Prove Your Worth with the help of a hireling rogue or a fellow player rogue. I've done that quite a few times, but again, mostly epic, because I don't even know the last time I ran Prove Your Worth on Heroic. Clearly it's been a long time, but... Yeah. And this character is not a reflex save character, so that could be pretty dangerous. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up with the show here then in just a little bit. I'm going to get you a code through the endgame mail, hopefully later on today. If it doesn't get done today, it's probably because I'm just too busy, and I'll get it done within the next couple of days. Quick reminder, everyone, if you can stay tuned on Saturday, noon to midnight Eastern, twitch.tv/DDO stream, we're going to be doing a 12-hour Extra Life marathon. Raising money for Extra Life. We have a $10,000 goal, and we were getting close to 8,000 last time I checked. So the outpouring of support from the DDO and Locher community has been huge, and we're hoping to hit that $10,000 goal this weekend with our live stream marathons. We're doing the Locher side on Friday and the DDO side on Saturday, and a personal side, I think, on Sunday for those of you who want to, or have always been kind of curious to check out my Atari setup or TI-99 and that sort of thing. I'll be doing that on my personal channel on Sunday. I like that question, T.L. Lewis, but I'm not prepared to answer it. My understanding, so here's the deal with the original VO guy. I served in the last war, that guy. We no longer have a record of who it was. I know, it's ridiculous, but it's true. We no longer have a record of who that was. No one inside of the building could actually give you the name of that person. And as far as we can tell, we don't have that information anywhere. So that has been the main issue, was we don't know who it is, nor how to get in touch with them. Lamania should be next week. All right, I think that's going to do it then. So have fun, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Samus Guerrero is going to be up in just a minute or so, doing a raid over to his channel. You can find the full schedule over on twitch.tv/DDO stream. I'll see you on Saturday, noon Eastern. Have fun.